I don't even know what name to put on it. I think you might call it a crime of the flesh. But the flesh is long fallen away, and I am not sure what hurt may linger in the bones. My brother Liam loved birds, and like all boys, he loved the bones of dead animals. I have no sons myself, so when I pass any small skull or skeleton, I hesitate and think of him, how he admired their intricacies. A magpie's ancient arms coming through the mess of feathers, stubby and light and clean. That is the word we use about bones. Clean. I tell my daughters to step back, obviously, from the mouse skull in the woodland or the dead finch that is weathering by the garden wall. I'm not sure why. Though sometimes we find on the beach a cuttlefish bone so pure that I have to slip it in my pocket, and I comfort my hand with the secret white arc of it. You cannot libel the dead, I think. You can only console them. So I offer Liam this picture. My two daughters running on the sandy rim of a stony beach under a slow, turbulent sky, the shoulders of their coats shrugging behind them. Then I erase it. I close my eyes and roll with the sea's loud static. When I open them again, it is to call the girls back to the car. Rebecca? Emily? It does not matter. I do not know the truth, or I do not know how to tell the truth. All I have are stories, night thoughts, the sudden convictions that uncertainty spawns. All I have are ravings, more like. She loved him, I say. She must have loved him. I wait for the kind of sense that dawn makes when you have not slept. I stay downstairs while the family breathes above me, and I write it down. I lay them out in nice sentences, all my clean, white bones.
And right, thank you very much indeed for that. And now a question about the gathering from the World Book Club audience here.
Vicky Mehta, living in London, Belsize Park. You capture grief and bereavement very well in your novel. Did you draw on a personal experience when writing the book?
I fortunately have all my siblings around me still. I have lost friends in the past. You know how you claim grief. A lot of writing is about loss anyway. A lot of imagining is a kind of escape from loss. There can be a kind of undertow of yearning and absence in the writing process. So whether it's autobiographical or not, I really couldn't say. I mean, it's autobiographical in that it's universal.
And then, right, thank you. And this next question comes from Adelaide in South Australia. It's sent into the programme by Jeff Woodridge, who says novels are written from many perspectives. One, the most traditional, being to use the omniscient observer who sees and knows everything. In The Gathering, you have deliberately chosen to have the narrator, Veronica, be an unreliable and uncertain witness to events. What was behind your decision to present the story in this fashion?
Well, at that stage of my writing process, as I call it, I hadn't written anything from a third person, omniscient, past tense sort of book. I tried, when I started out writing, to write something that might have been read in the 19th century but had more sex in it, and failed miserably. The past was not a defined place for me. It was not a certain place, and I never felt at ease claiming the authority that some writers claim in a book, that they know everything that happens. You can find great comfort in that authorial authority. But my personal attitude to authority in a creative sense, whatever, is I've always, as a writer, been interested in keeping moving. I think if I stop, somebody will catch me, or perhaps catch me out. But I think this is often a response to false authority. What do you do when authority is somehow false? You dodge, you shift, you work with ambiguity and contradictions. You have many ways of denying what is a false authority. So it's only slowly now, in more recent novels, that I have even claimed small parts of the past. And this uncertainty about the past shifts through The Gathering all the way.
you very much, Anne. We have someone on the telephone now to ask you a question. It's Virginia Castiglione. She's in Argentina. Virginia, hi, are you there?
Hello. Hello, Anne. It's a pleasure to talk to you today. When I was reading the book, it struck me that the voice of Veronica Hegarty is very raw and unique. And my question for you is, how much previous work did you have to do to get the voice of Veronica exactly as it was supposed to be?
So, Anne, how do you arrive at Veronica's voice?
The voice of Veronica, that opening passage is actually quite elegiac and lyrical from Veronica. But then I look back at some of the other things she writes and says, I'm shocked by how spiky she is and what anger is underneath her way of talking. I suppose I was representing or trying to represent somebody who was bereaved, so that kind of howl is in there. You have to articulate the howl, so it's not going to turn to birdsong. It's going to turn to something quite, in Veronica's case, quite textured and engaged. I don't know, she's a funny old bird, Veronica. And I suppose I also like to draw on not how people speak to each other, but how people speak in their heads. I want to get a narrative voice that's close to inner monologue, that's close to the voice you might use on the phone if you didn't quite know who was at the other end or you knew them too well. It's something quite intimate, it's something quite uncensored, so that might account for its rawness, yes.
Hello, I'm Prue Hall from Beckenham. First of all, I'd like to say how I love the way you pinpoint moments in the past with your throwaway and funny remarks like, when Daddy died, no one in Ireland ate mangoes, though I think kiwi was all the rage by then. And another one, the Hegartys didn't start kissing till the late 80s, and even then we stuck to Christmas. Yes, that took me back. There are so many characters in the book. Do you plan them all before you start, or do characters like Michael Weiss just appear as you're writing?
Michael Weiss being a boyfriend of Virginia's.
Yes, with a Brooklyn pebble in his mouth, with his accent. I didn't plan this book at all. I planned a whole other book, which fell apart on me over the first year of writing it. And so the process of getting to writing the actual gatherings, getting to write a fallen apart book, I put all that fragmentation into Veronica's head as opposed to into mine. But I do not plan as a writer mostly. Some people structure their books, but if I structure and if I try and write that structured book, the thing dies on me. If I know what's in it, why am I bothering? It dies. It becomes inert, you know, you're just kind of describing something that's already happened. So yes, the creative occasion, it happens in the sentences. Michael Weiss walks in, and there he is, and he's got that name, and he has that particular way of talking. I would stole that from someone. But I steal little tiny details from everywhere. Writers are great magpies, including sometimes I steal from myself. But I don't complain.
I'm Anna McCain from London. I was bowled over by this book. I was particularly interested in all the information in the book and thoughts in the book about families and memory and truth.